Right, good morning ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Thai Talk with Dan. Now, in the last community post on YouTube, I told you that I will be back on camera sharing these Thailand stories. So I created another channel to do some more educational content, and the link's down below. Now, without further ado, let's find out what this guy, AJ from England, got up to with Thai women on his trips to Thailand. He got his heart broken twice, but apparently he didn't get conned into parting with his hard-earned money. Stick the kettle on, grab a beer, and let's get into today's Thailand story. Dear Dan, I've been watching your videos for the past 2 years, and I just want to say you're doing a great job showing the reality of Thailand. You're helping people before they lose their minds and their money. So, I would like to share a story for your channel. I consider myself one of the lucky ones. I didn't fall into the usual traps or lose money in the bar scene, although I did get my heart broken twice along the way. So this is my full story, and apologies, it's a long one, but it's real. So here goes. My name is AJ. I'm 50 years old from central Lancashire, not too far from yourself, Dan. Back in August 2019, I was going through one of the lowest points of my life. I'd just been through a divorce, and not long after that, I met another English woman, which only made things worse. So I spiraled into a level of depression I'd never experienced before. Proper rock bottom. Now, one day, I went into a local pub, just trying to get out of the house. A guy I'd met a few times looked at me and said something I'll never forget. "I don't like the way you look. Mate, you remind me of my brother before he committed suicide." That hit me hard. He knew a bit about what I had been through, and then he said, "Come to Thailand with me. I'll show you something different." Now, at that point, I knew absolutely nothing about Thailand. I'd never ever been on a lad's holiday before. I'd always been in long-term relationships, so this was completely out of my comfort zone. He told me he had a girlfriend over there, and her friend was looking for a boyfriend too. I didn't even know what bar girls were at this point. These women weren't bar girls. They were both around 40, living together in a house on the dark side in Pattaya. The house belonged to his girlfriend after her husband had passed away. Now, after seeing a photo of the woman that I would be meeting, I decided to take the chance, but I nearly backed out twice. But in the end, it turned out to be one of the best decisions I've ever made. So we went in September for 3 weeks. I had a blind date waiting for me, which could have gone horribly wrong, but it didn't. Those 3 weeks were incredible, not just because it was my first time in Pattaya, but because I wasn't alone. I had my mate guiding me and 2 Thai women showing me around properly. Looking back, that made a huge difference. I didn't arrive clueless. I had structure, company, and a completely different introduction to Thailand than most first-timers. The woman I met was called Pat. She was kind, caring, and attentive. Everything that I had been missing in my life back home. And after everything that I had been through, that feeling hit hard. So halfway through the trip, something happened that really sums it all up. We were out drinking in a club on Walking Street, and out of nowhere, I broke down in tears. Not because I was sad, but because I was overwhelmed. I had literally gone from feeling completely lost and depressed to standing there in Thailand surrounded by good people, feeling genuinely happy again. And the girls were asking me, what's wrong? And all I could say was, you don't know what I've been through. And from that moment on, the rest of the holiday was amazing. But like all holidays, it comes to an end. When I got back to England, reality kicked in again. And once I had time to think clearly, I realised something. Pat was a lovely woman, but she just wasn't my type long term. That wasn't easy to admit, especially after everything she's done for me during that trip. But I knew I had to be honest. So I messaged her and ended things. She wasn't happy, but it was the right decision, and I want to make this clear. At no point did I pay her anything.
I smell bullshit.
She never asked for money. I covered food and drinks, of course, but that's normal, and from what I experienced, it was more than worth it. Now, 6 weeks later, I was back in Thailand. This time, I went back single, and intentionally so. And this was when I experienced the bar scene properly. And this time, I saw everything. The flirting, the tactics, the setups, the stories, the subtle ways conversations turn towards money. I understood very quickly how it all works, and I won't lie, I fully embraced the experience. I had a different girl every night. Not because I was proud of it, but because I could. And because I knew this wasn't real life, it was a temporary escape. My mate even said to me at one point, you don't need a different girl every night. So I said, I do. I'm only here for 3 weeks. Now looking back, I can admit I was still vulnerable at that time. It didn't fix what I'd been through, but it definitely helped me cope with it. Now, towards the end of that trip, I went back to the dark side area. I walked into a bar and saw someone who immediately stood out. Her name was Ulf. She wasn't a bar girl. We started talking and there was an instant connection. You know, when something just clicks straight away. That's what it felt like. We exchanged numbers and spent time talking. We didn't rush anything. In fact, we didn't even leave the bar together, but mentally, I was already hooked. When I got back to England, I couldn't stop thinking about her. So I made a decision. I wasn't just going back to Thailand. I was going back with a purpose.
Sexy time. Yeah.
So I planned a full 3-week trip around the country, and I asked her to join me. Bangkok, Kanchanaburi, Chiang Mai, Khon Kaen and Koh Samet. A real Thailand experience. I told her I would cover everything, flights, hotels, food, but I made one thing very clear. I was not paying her for her time. Her response? She said no problem at all. She wanted to travel and experience it with me. This was a major green flag. When I arrived, she picked me up from the airport, and within days we were both completely into each other. That trip was something special. We travelled all over Thailand, experienced different places, met her family, and shared moments I'll never forget. And not once did she ask me for money, support, or anything beyond the trip itself. Another green flag. But then, just as things were building, COVID hit. When the world shut down, so did everything that we had, and we both moved on during that time. And then just like that, it was over. Now, on a later trip, I met another woman, May, again, not a bar girl, blonde, confident, attractive, and very switched on. We hit it off straight away. I ended up coming back for a full month just to spend time with her. We travelled, explored, had great experiences, and for a while it felt perfect again. But this time I paid closer attention, and slowly the red flags started to show. She wanted an expensive engagement ring early on. She said that she didn't want financial support, but later hinted that she did. She would disappear for long periods with no explanation. She flirted heavily, even with my friends. Eventually, she admitted she used to be a bar girl.
Are you stupid or something?
And moments like buying her child a gift, but not her, caused tension. This definitely wasn't genuine, so I ended it with her. So since then, Dan, I have been to Thailand around 10 times. I travel solo now. I explore properly, and I understand the culture much better. I've met expats who've lived there for decades, and I've learned a lot from them. I'm still friends with Oath. We have a good relationship, and I'm happy she found someone. The biggest lesson: don't get emotionally attached, especially if you do not live there. And most importantly, I didn't lose money. I stayed away. And I agree with you, Dan. You don't pay a girlfriend for her time. Now, the good thing is, I'm no longer the depressed person I was back in 2019. Thailand didn't fix everything, but it definitely helped me rebuild myself. And who knows, maybe one day I'll retire there.
Are you serious?
Be careful, lads, and listen to Dan. All the best, AJ. Right, AJ, thanks very much for sharing your story on the channel. Now, a lot of guys believe that if they don't get involved with bar girls, then they are safe. Do not believe that in 2026. A lot of these girls will make out that they're different. They don't want money from you. They want a boyfriend and a happily ever after. They won't attack you with anything financial if they are smart. They will play the game until you fall for them. Once you fall for them, the stories will start getting shared about the problems that they've got within their life, their debts, the fact that they have to look after mum and dad, or maybe they will just go in for the kill and talk to you about moving to Thailand and building a life, i.e. get that house built, buy a car, buy a motorbike, and even set up a business in your new girlfriend's or wife's name. There is everything to play for, and the smartest women in Thailand will go down this route with you, love bomb the hell out of you, get you hooked, and then reel you in. So they've got a big fish. But they won't do this until they work out that you've got plenty of money in that bank account to share with them. Now, a lot of guys choose not to believe this. They choose that they have found someone different. Their woman is not like the rest. She's got a good job. She's a school director, for example. But what she's not told you yet is that she is in millions of bahts worth of debt. And that's why it was your choice. She never asked, but it was your choice to pay her 30,000 baht per month and stick her on that amazing monthly payroll. Guys get tricked into this all the time, and it happens all the time. But the craziest part is a lot of these guys don't even realize that they've got tricked. Now, this guy in the story, if he was to retire to Thailand, if he was to have stayed with those women a lot longer, he would have learned this part too, that eventually he would have been put on that monthly payroll, he would have been forced to part with his money in one way or another, or he would have felt obliged to do it off his own back. Most of these professionals will not ask you to pay. They will expect you to do it because they've told you their story, and you are that white knight in shining armor coming to rescue your damsel in distress and be her superhero. Now guys, let us know what you think down in the comments below, and also share your own experiences down in the comments below. And if you've got your own story that you want to share on the channel, get your emails sent in to thaitalkwithdan@gmail.com. I've also set up a new YouTube channel, Thai Talk with Dan Unleashed, where I'm not going to share stories. I'm going to teach you guys everything about Thailand. So make sure you check that out. There'll be a link in the description below. Apart from that, take care of yourselves, look after yourselves, and don't be on that monthly payroll. Ciao for now, and bye-bye.